I'm joined by 4A state champion and Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year, Gabi Haack. Gabi, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yeah, no problem.
Been a couple of days since you claimed that first state title in school history for Elk River. So what is the Afterglow like, and what kind of reception did you receive back home?
I mean, the support we received from Elk River was amazing. On the way home, we had cop cars, ambulances, and fire trucks escorting us into Elk River, and it was just awesome. There was like 3 or 4 police cars, and then like 2 fire trucks. I mean, it was just amazing. And then when we got back to the school, we all lined up in the half court, and there was just a bunch of fans sitting in the stands, and I mean, they were all cheering for us when we walked in, and there was a bunch of little basketball girls, and the feeling was unreal. And I mean, at that point, I still hadn't gotten into my mind that we had won state, and it still felt unreal to me. But with all them cheering, and it was just an unreal feeling.
When did it settle in after winning the state title? When did you finally process the notion that you won the dang thing?
I mean, I think it set in yesterday more with everyone at school congratulating us, and I don't know, I just kind of realized that basketball was done, yesterday, so Monday.
Any autograph requests?
Yeah, I had one. Someone sent me an email and said that they babysat this girl who really loved Elk River basketball, so I just had to drop it off in the office.
And to take us through the season, because you had a new head coach coming in, you had Reed Cowett over the last few years, and you got to work alongside some great talents like Gabi Haack.
Yeah.
So a lot of expectations and uncertainties coming into this year. And when did you sense that things were meshing?
I mean, even after our first game, I knew things were meshing because we played a really good team, Lakeville North. They were ranked above us at that time, and they were expected to beat us. And we just played really well together and ended up winning. And I think we just really used that energy throughout the rest of our games, because I don't think ever in my high school career I've won our first game, because we've always done that breakdown tournament, and those are always big games against good teams. And I think that first win just really helped to let us know where we were at with those big teams, and we just kept on using that momentum the rest of our games.
As the wins kept piling up, how did you temper it, make sure it didn't overwhelm you guys, and at the same time, what was the feeling in the locker room and in team huddles as your win total kept rising higher and higher and getting through this whole season without a loss?
Going into the games, we didn't really think about our record. We just needed to think about the one game that we were going into, and know that we just needed to listen to the game plan and do what coach was telling us in order to win that game. But after the games, I mean, after we played St. Michael, that was a big win for us, and after that game, we went to Applebee's and celebrated as a team, because it was just such a big game for us, because we had never beaten St. Michael before in our high school careers, and so we were really happy after that one. But the other ones, we were just kind of, after the game, we were just happy. The bus rides home were pretty fun, and I don't know, I mean, we just kept winning, and we just kind of, I don't know, it didn't really seem like a big deal to us with some of the wins, but I don't know, it was really fun. We all just had a lot of fun with it.
And good point with St. Michael Albertville, because I understand they beat you last year in Section 8 to go to state. What kind of motivation did that give you guys who are coming back, and how gratifying was it to get through to state after an 11-year absence? I
mean, they've actually beaten us the past my 3 years, and Abby Scheidt's 4 years. So St. Michael's always been a big team for us to play. We have a big rival. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. Rivalry. Okay, I can't even say rivalry.
You had a big rivalry.
Yeah, with them, and I think that just going into that game, we knew this is a very important game for seeding in our sections, and I think we beat them by a basket or so. So we prepared really well for them, and going into that game, we knew we needed to play our best game possible in order to beat them. And then when we did, it was just an amazing feeling, and we knew then again that something was special with this team, and that we could do big things with this team.
And a sense of irony, in section play, you didn't have to face the Knights because Moorhead upset them in the semis, but they didn't make it easy for you. So what was that section final like? You, of course, were there 3 times and came up short. So how nervous were you going in, and when the buzzer hit 0 and you knew that you had defeated Moorhead, how exciting was that?
It was so exciting. I mean, it was still unreal to me again because I've always been we've always been a team to lose and to get the red medal and then to go home all sad. But it was just really fun to be the team that was happy, and we got to cut down the net, and it was just still an unreal feeling. And I don't know, going into the game, I wasn't very nervous or anything, but I was more anxious. I just wanted to play because we'd been playing in the section final the past 3 years, so we knew what to expect. And I think since we have had that experience with the past 3 years, that we just really knew we didn't want to go home this year with a red medal, and we really knew that we needed to play for each other because the 5 starters were all seniors, and we knew this is our last chance to make a point, and we just played with heart and came out with the win.
You know, you bumped up your scoring. You went from 16 points per game in your junior season, and for a time you were the leading scorer. It dropped a bit as the season went along, but what did you take, or how did you step up in that aspect and become a focal point on the offensive side?
I think in the off season I really worked hard to develop a faster release and to work on versatility and posting up and to work on playing on the inside. And I just think this year, with our offense being more spread out without having Abby in there, I just think that really opened up the lanes for driving and for more kick-out shots. And I just think the offense this year just really played into my game.
You go through state. What was that experience like, going to Target Center and then Williams Arena?
It was an amazing feeling. I mean, I've never been at state before, so just to be there was an incredible feeling. And then playing at the barn, I enjoyed playing at Williams Arena better than the Target Center. Just all the fans that were there. I mean, Elk River, they were great. There were so many people from Elk River that came, and I just felt we had a big fan base, and just all of them cheering. It just really got me motivated on the court. And to be playing with my 4 other seniors, it was just an amazing feeling and memories I will never forget.
And speaking of memories, you made a big one that Saturday night.
Yeah.
Going up against Hopkins, the presumptive favorite. Everyone's thinking a new dynasty was about to be born, and you came in and eked out a 4-point win.
Yeah.
Just give me an overall sense. What was that game like, and how challenging was it, and how much did you have to sweat for it to get that state title?
Going into the game, we all believed that we could win. It was, I mean, everyone, like Hopkins was the #1 team in the state, but we all knew we can beat them. Like, we have the talent, we have the heart, and we all just went in with the belief that we could beat them, and we just all played really well. I mean, I think we shot 80% from threes in the first half and then 50 in the second half, which is that doesn't really happen often. And I just think we were all on our best game, and we knew going into the game that this is our last high school game ever, so we needed to make it the best, and that's what we did.
It was a tight one, though. I don't think anyone built a huge lead at all during that game. So how did you make sure you didn't succumb to the pressure with a team as talented and with the pedigree that Hopkins has right on your heels?
Yeah, throughout the season we've had a bunch of tight games, going into overtime twice, and some close games with some other teams. But I think with the experience we've had with those tight games has really played into the Hopkins game. And we knew if we were down by a couple baskets, not to get down on ourselves, but to just keep playing harder. And yeah, I just always felt in the game when we were playing Hopkins. I never felt like when we were down that we were done. I always felt that we had the ability to get back, and we did.
How much did you exhale when Paige Becker's game-tying 3-point attempt rimmed out and then you got the free throw to seal it?
Yeah, that was, I mean, she's a great player. I have so much respect for her. I thought it was in. It looked in. I watched the replays. It spun around and bounced out. I still don't really know how it missed, but that was a huge relief. And then Danielle got the rebound and got fouled. Like, that was just, at that moment, I was like, we could win this. Like, this is starting to seem real to us that we can win this. And then when Danielle made that free throw, I knew that we had just won the game, and it was still unreal. And then the clock hit 0 and we were all hugging, and there's a really cool picture on the Star Tribune of all of us, and that just shows how happy we all were to finally achieve our goal. And I don't know, yeah.
And on that note, what does it mean to be part of the first ever state championship team for Elk River?
It's an unbelievable feeling. I mean, going into the season, my goal was just to make it to the state tournament, and I never thought we would be undefeated, 32-0, state champs. Like, it's just an incredible feeling.
And on top of that, you got some other accolades, Metro Player of the Year, you were a finalist for Miss Basketball, and you'll get to wear that Elk River jersey one more time at the All-Star Series. What do you make of all the accolades, and what does it say to you about the rewards you've received as a result of this dedication?
I'm just really thankful to get those awards. They mean a lot, and it's just awesome.
Any favorite moments outside of the championship from your time here at Elk River?
There's so many memories. I've made so many friends, and friends that I'll probably have for the rest of my life. And Elk River is a great school, and I wouldn't have wanted to play for any other program. I don't know, it's just going to be hard not to put on that Elk River jersey again.
And then I presume some of your graduated teammates like Gabi Haack, they got in touch with you after the championship. What did Abby have to say to you?
She texted us and told us she was so proud of us, and she was really happy for us. And then there were some other alumni that texted us just like congrats that they're watching us, and we got a lot of praise for it.
So you're headed to Bradley in the fall. What are your plans for this spring, and what excites you as you get ready to make that transition to Division I basketball?
This spring I'm planning on, I don't have any high school sports, so I was just going to do my own workouts, maybe get a trainer, have some time to relax before college. But yeah, definitely college is going to be a big step up from high school, so I have to do a lot of preparing. I'll have to get in the weight room, get a little faster. It's just going to be I'll have to adapt a lot, but I'm really excited for what Bradley has to offer.
And then based on your experience, what would you tell someone who may face your position someday, because you had to go up against the perennial in Hopkins, and on top of that, you win a championship, go undefeated. And so for someone who faces what you go through next year, what would you tell them, and what advice would you have to say?
I just say, like, they need to believe in themselves and to believe in your team, because if you believe, like, anything is possible, and if you work hard to do it, the results could be exactly what you wanted.
And then who was your role model in the sport? I remember asking you this back in December, but who was your role model, and how did he or she or whoever they may be help you become the athlete that you are?
My parents are both my role models, and my dad also. Well, my dad and my mom, but my dad more with the basketball aspect, because he was my coach since kindergarten, and he was all the way up until 8th grade. And he just really taught me everything about basketball and also how to be off the court. So he really taught me to have character and to work hard for what I want. And I don't know, he's just always been there to support me. Both of them have. They've been my #1 fans through AAU and high school basketball. So they're just great people.
And what are you going to miss most about wearing an Elk River jersey?
Just like being with my teammates, because we were all so close this year, and I don't know, it's just going to be hard not to see them every day.
And was there any special moments or sort of aha or symbiosis after you won and the 6 seniors, I understand, got together knowing that you were part of history?
Yeah, in the locker room, the coaches were giving us talks about the season and how proud they were of us. There were some tears, but all of us seniors were mostly just smiling. Like, there was a lot of the underclassmen they had some tears, but all of the seniors, we were just smiling, because we were like, there's no other way we would have wanted to end our senior season.